We're good. All right, we'll roll. All right. What's up, everybody? Sterling Anderson here, and you are now inside the Sterling Report here on Grant Cardone TV. I actually have with me today Asia Denson of Denson Construction Services in Detroit, Michigan. She's doing some amazing big things up in Detroit, wholesaling. I think you're doing some rehabbing up there as well. So you got a lot of great things going on. So we're going to talk a little bit more about Asia and her business, Denson Construction, and just the Detroit real estate market. We know there's some great opportunities happening in Detroit. So I just want to talk to her and just kind of get her outlook on what's happening in Detroit. Maybe you guys are up there in Detroit doing some great things. I know there's a lot of international investors that watch as well. So maybe there's some opportunities for you and some great things that you can learn about investing and wholesaling in Detroit. Asia, welcome to the show.
What up, though?
What's going on, girl?
Nothing.
All right. I'm good. I'm great. Thank you so much for being on. I know it's a long time coming as far as us making this happen, man. And we still got to make some great things happen in Detroit too. So we definitely gonna make sure that we do that.
For sure.
Good. Well, tell us a little bit more about you and just how you got your start, and a little bit more about Denson Construction.
Oh, well, basically, I was a heavy highway engineer, like inspector, for a couple of years. So that's how I kind of got my construction start. And then one year we got a layoff notice, so to speak, because we're independent. So it's not like they got to be nice and give you a 2-week heads up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So my mentor at the time, he gave me like a 6 months head of like, hey, you know, make sure you start saving your money because y'all contract about to get the boot. I'm like, thank you, little bird. I appreciate it. So after that, I was like, you know, I don't ever want my income or my livelihood to depend on anybody else but me. Like, if I'm broke, it needs to be because, all right, I messed up. That's why I'm broke. So that's pretty much how I started my company. But at the time, I was like still working, so I was bullshitting basically, and I was still getting money. So I was like, this is just a little hobby, whatever. But then I got the real deal, and I wasn't working for like over a year, and I was basically broke. And I was like, I gotta really do this. And then that's how I got into wholesaling and everything else, because I was already a contractor. I just was BSing basically. So then I went to what's the people from the TV show Flip This House, whatever.
Flip This House. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Builders. They had a thing here, a little free day, and then I went to the 3-day weekend, and that's how I got into wholesaling. Because I always wanted to do home renovations and flipping, but I just never knew how to go about it. And so that's pretty much how I started. So I bought I went to that, paid for the 3-day weekend, and then I bought one of the little mentor books, or it was like $1,000 wholesaling program. And then like after the first 6 or 7 months, I did my first deal, and I was like, oh, this really works. So I just kept doing it. And
Good.
Contractor kind of like work together because I can, sell you the house and I can rehab it. So it kind of all worked out. So that's pretty much how I started.
That's good. That's really good. So I mean, a lot of us, I think we start like that, man. We're just kind of, working for somebody, and then you just be like, okay, let me go and take this leap. Let me make this happen. Or something happens in that job to where it's like, okay, I need to make this move. I need to make this move now. So I know a lot of us have really started, have started out like that. Were there any like mentors that you had when you got started wholesaling, or how did you just really take a step out there? Did you do a lot of networking? Was it different sites, or how did you do that?
I bought that course. I can't think of the name. Like I think it was called Freedom Mentor, and I bought that like $1,000 or whatever. The guy's name is Phil Villa. I have no idea how to say his last name.
I think I know you're talking about. Yeah, okay.
But anyway, I bought his program, and it was pretty good. So I just pretty much did it and ran with it. I got my first deal through one of my subcontractors. Actually, he has rental properties, and he seen that I was trying, to do this. He's like, well, I'll let you sell my first one. And I got my buyer off of Craigslist, and that's how I did my very first deal, and it just took off from there. Then I teamed up with Marvin Gaines. That's my homie, beside the property guy. We started teaming up, and it's amazing how me and him became cool because somebody that lived in like New York or something was starting to wholesale, was trying to wholesale me one of his deals, and I was like, I know Marvin, what I need you for? Deuces.
Right.
That's how me and him became so cool, started doing deals together. But that's pretty much how we started. Marvin, I don't think he paid for me. I think he self-taught himself like off YouTube by watching you, Chris Bruce, and Mike Nelson. And then I started doing too, because I was mad. I was like, man, I done spent $1,000 and I could have, just taught myself on YouTube. I was mad as hell.
Right. Yeah, and that's a good thing too. Like I know when I started out, it was Kenny Rushing, it was Cody Sperber. Started watching some of their videos, and then of course implementing as I went along. So I mean, that's a lot of times that people don't, really have that money to pay a mentor. I mean, I don't like for that to stop them from getting started. I mean, there's videos and different books and things that you can get. Having a mentor is certainly great. It helps you propel even faster. You know, watching those videos can still get you out there and taking some action. But the only key to that is that you have to apply it as you're watching and as you're learning it. That's cool. That's cool. And Marvin, that's one cool dude, man. I know he's doing some great things up there too.
That's my homie. We did a lot of stuff. We started off broke together.
Right. Yeah.
But like the flip this house thing, I remember I got picked to go to the mastery level, which is, I don't know, that was like another 30 grand. And
like 25 grand for that. Yeah.
And I'm glad that my mom instilled in me common sense, because I was like, why would I give them 20, 30 grand when I could buy a whole block in Detroit for 30
Right.
I was like, I'm going to just do this my way. And if I mess up, I got this engineering degree. I can always get a damn job. And that's the way I looked at it.
Good. All right. Well, speaking of the Detroit market, what's happening in the Detroit market right now? What are some opportunities that you're seeing happening there?
Detroit is like a really rags to riches story. Like back in 2008 when the market first crashed, I didn't know what was going on, and that's when I bought my townhouse. And I wish I had, because if I would have waited another 2 years, I could have got it for like 20 grand. And we're talking new construction built in like 2006, 2007. And so like I ended up walking away from my house because I never really heard about what happened here, like all the underwater mortgages and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
My mortgage was like on $66,000, and it was worth $15,000. And so I'm already broke, so screw this mortgage payment. I'm not paying it. So like the 3 grand I had left in my name, I used that money to go get my contractor license, pay for the 3-day weekend, stuff like that. And I was like, well, I know if I don't pay my car note, but if I only send them like $50 a month, they can't come take my car. So
there you go. Right.
I'm not surprised anybody do that, but I was broke. So you got to think like a broke person and still make it. And so like,
there you go.
But Detroit as a whole, like I love this city. Detroit is one of the only markets that I know of where you can buy a property for, let's say, 10 grand, put 30 grand into it, fully rehab it, and you can still rent it out for 8, 9, up to $1,500 a month. On the low end, you might get $400 or $500, but you are like in the hood of the hood. And then on the high end, you're talking $1,000 and up. Now, if you're in these new up and coming markets like downtown Detroit, rent down there done went up so crazy in the last 5 years. But like these one apartments called Millender Center, you just could rent those for like $600, $700, $800. They done went up to $1,500, $2 grand a month. It's like insane. So basically what happened to people who had been there for 20, 30 years throughout the demise of Detroit, they pretty much had to leave because, they couldn't afford the rent anymore. And that's starting to happen all over downtown, midtown, Corktown. And now it's going into the neighborhood, which is great, so like the North End is about to be the next big boom. And a lot of my investors, they kind of scared because they're like, it's the hood. I'm like, yeah, right now, but you have to see like what's coming, like the new railroad's coming right past there. They're building a new railroad headquarters over there. Me and Marv just sold a property over there not too long ago, and we're hopefully trying to sell another one. But Detroit is like the bomb because no matter what happens here, the rent stayed the same. Even when the market crashed, and the rent still was $800. Like in nowhere, you know what I'm saying? So like the ROI here is 15% and up. I haven't seen some ROIs here in the 40s, like 40%, because it's so cheap. So like that same scenario, you buy the house for 10, 15 grand, you put 30, 40 into it for a full rehab. And that's another thing that a lot of these investors don't understand when they buy in Detroit. These houses have been sitting here so long, vacant. The people that came in there and scrapped them, of course, because it's all full of copper. And you have to basically put that house back together. And then if the city has come out, now you got to really put it back together. They're going to have all these code violations on there that has to be, corrected. And that's where a lot of investors are messing up because they're like, oh my God, this house is only $500. Yeah, but it needs $100,000 worth of work.
Wow. Okay. So in Detroit, is that where a lot of the development is happening now? Like, downtown and midtown, those areas?
Yeah, there's a lot of development. You got this one guy who bought some apartment building downtown, like doing, I think 08 or 09, when the market went bad for like $3 million. He done renovated. It's on the market right now for like $11.9 million. And he's probably going to get it because it's in the heart of downtown, right by CompuWare and all that great stuff. And he's going to get it, I'm sure, or close to it. And then you have Southwest Detroit that's going to come up, which has always been a nice neighborhood. That's where that's the Latino community. And so since it's right next to downtown. You got people venturing out to there to move. Like a lot of the hipsters are moving there. What's our big guy name? Gilbert. He's buying over there now. So now everybody else is going to catch the flash and buy over there too. So.
Wow, good. Okay, really good opportunities. So your company, Denson Construction Services. Now I know you have the wholesaling side, but you also do a lot of other things with Denson Construction. So how does that kind of all play in with what's happening there in Detroit?
Well, pretty much I'm a contractor first. You know, that's my love, my passion. But, you know, of course, I wholesale too. But they all work together because people find me for purchasing a property and it's like, oh, I'm a contractor too. Oh, great. You're like a one-stop shop. But now they want me to do property management, and I refuse to do property management because I don't want the headache. So my philosophy is lower the risk, get in, get out, and that's it. Property management
That's it.
Like a marriage. Like you're married to this client or this property for the duration of the lease or whatever, and I don't want to do that. But it kind of works out because I can go in there and give you a real estimate on the rehab plus the wholesaling part of it too. The only downside is being that I'm an actual licensed contractor and I charge licensed contractor prices. Most people are not used to seeing that with a Detroit contractor because most of them aren't licensed, which doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters to be licensed, but it doesn't, because I've met some great people that are not licensed and do amazing work. And I've known of some not so great licensed contractors who do sorry work. So it's kind of like a catch-22, but you need that license to get those permits and all that stuff too. And then it kind of gives you like a more credential. So it kind of works out for me. And then me being a woman, that really helps because I have a eye more different than a guy. Like, this has been my fear. Men, they just want to come in and work, paint, that's it. They don't want to match nothing. They don't care if it coordinates. We just going to put this flat base white wall and some beige carpet, and that's all you get. No, we need to make this. No, you're not going to do that. So my rehabs are totally not like that. Like, everything coordinates, it matches, it flows, because you have to think of your demographic. 9 times out of 10 is going to be a single parent, usually a mom with kids moving into this house. So I want to make it nice, you know, so she'll like it. Because we look at kitchens and bathrooms, y'all really don't care about none of that.
Wow. Okay, and that's very true. I know sometimes I've gotten better though. You know, with picking out things and matching things and whatnot, getting, you know, my little HGTV or whatever on or whatnot. So I've gotten better. So I will say that. But that's cool. That's really cool. It's good that you can offer your investors, really, like you said, that one-stop shop for, you know, getting things done there in Detroit. On the wholesaling end, you know, on the construction end, and coming through and helping out with rehabs. That's awesome. That's really good. To the wholesaling end, how are you finding your deals now? Do you have people out there bringing you deals, or how are you finding your best deals now?
To be honest, I've been very, very blessed. Like, I've never done a seller mailing campaign. I've never done a bandit sign. I personally refuse to do bandit signs because they're so oversaturated here in Detroit. It's like they're everywhere.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, if I'm looking to sell my house, I'm not calling y'all. But I get all my stuff from my website and social media. I say 80% of all my construction work and wholesaling come from social media, mainly like Instagram, YouTube, Google Plus, Facebook.
Yeah, please say that again. I can't stress the importance enough of social media. I mean, using, you know, just being able to, I know, you know, we sold a couple properties just from a $5 boosted post on Facebook.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just, I mean, stuff like that. You know, you have Facebook, you have Twitter, you have Instagram, LinkedIn. A lot of people underestimate LinkedIn, but you can, yeah. There you go.
I done got contracts off Pinterest because, you know, you showing pictures of your work, and a lot of people are sleeping on Pinterest or Pinterest.
Right, including me. I mean, even my my lady, she mentioned Pinterest to me as well. So that's definitely something I'm going to have to take a look into as far as doing that. So Pinterest, I mean, you never would think, but I mean, every social media that's available to be able to, you know, get those sellers and to get those buyers, use that.
Yeah, for sure. And then, like, old school word of mouth, like, my mom and my aunt is, boy, that's my mouthpiece right there. Because my mom, she'll tell people, like, well, I ain't going to just say she do great work because she my child, but, you know, she is the bomb. I'd be like, really, mom? But it's all
I heard the stories about your mom. Your mom is a trip.
Man, she's hilarious, man. I was like, she's like, we need a reality show. I'm like, no, we don't. Right.
Yeah, no, actually, that would be good, and people would watch for sure. That's good. Good. Are you doing any, besides Marv, are you doing other type of partner in wholesaling, or do you do like JVs? Are you doing any virtual wholesaling, or is it just strictly there in Detroit?
Strictly here in Detroit. I would like to do virtual, but my thing is finding good people to team up with. Cause like one thing I like about my partner Mara, we've never signed like any type of contract between each other. You know, we real Detroiters. Either you gonna come through or you ain't. So it's the bottom line. And it's like with other people in the JV, they want me to sign all this crap. And I'm like, I'm not signing these 55 pages. Like, dude, take my word, take this email and this text message that I'm gonna come through, or just don't do business with me. You know, that's how we operate. Like, you're gonna take my word. That should still, I would hope that still means, you know, your word is your bond. You know, that's just
right
in the day. But that's why I like dealing with him. But I wouldn't mind teaming up with maybe you know, because I know you, or some other people off the Facebook group. But just teaming up with anybody, nah, I can't see myself doing that.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to kind of, you know, pick and choose in this business. You know, you definitely don't want to, you know, of course, get burned or whatnot. All it takes is that one time and you move on. But I mean, I've definitely, you know, loved to do, you know, virtual deals with other wholesalers, other investors to make that happen, especially if my inventory is low. I'll always do the whole virtual aspect. And that's what's pushed us into, you know, doing, you know, looking at Detroit and doing Atlanta and Dallas and Houston, Los Angeles, to be able to start doing that. So it's always a good thing to do. If you can do virtual deals and set up good partnerships, do that. But man, just keep everything 100, keep everything on the up and up with that.
Exactly. Like if I call, answer the phone, simple stuff. And to be honest, that's how I've gotten a lot of my contracts, like as far as rehabbing go, because people are telling me like, you're the only person in Detroit to answer the phone. I'm like, I'm running the business. I'm gonna answer the phone. Like, and if you become my client, I'm gonna get on your last nerve. So this is gonna work out great.
That's perfect. That's good. Yeah, and I tell people that too, especially my students. I tell them that, you know, when a seller contacts you or a buyer, return that phone call. Right. If you can't get to it right then and there, then, you know, hour or so, couple hours, or just but whatever you do, return that phone call, because that seller will call that next postcard, or will call that next letter, or that buyer will go out and find another wholesaler to get properties from, or just whatnot. So you be that source and you provide that good service to be able to have your buyers and sellers come to you for the service that they're looking for. So that's good. You are, I mean, like I said, I always considered you a real heavy hitter, but I mean, this right here is just really showing people, you know, hey, you are really out there. You are really doing it. You're doing some amazing things. I have to say I'm proud of you, and I am for killing it up there in Detroit. So you're doing some great things.
Well, thank you. That means a lot coming from you. And you were kind of like my mentor. You know, when me and Mara first started, we would ask you stuff here and there, and you would look out for us. And I do appreciate that, because I know you're busy. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we had some funny phone conversations, all three of us, man, just talking about the business and just shooting the shit and everything. So yeah, it's been cool.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You've been my
absolutely
without you even noticing. Like I just have to do, oh, this is what he did today. I'm going to do the same thing.
There you go, and that's what it's about. And that's what it's about. So I mean, as long as if you see it, implement it and make it work for you. So that works. That's good. That's good. All right.
Like as far as virtual, if there is anybody out there, I wouldn't mind teaming up. It's just, you know, you got to come correct at the same time, you know. And this is the thing with teaming up. If I tried to team up with two people out the group and it didn't work out because they didn't want to listen to me. This is my thing. If I'm teaming up with you and that's your market, I'm gonna shut up because you know more about the market than me. Tell me what you need me to do so I can do it. And that's my whole issue. Like, I'm not a know-it-all. I have no problem listening to other people that know what they're talking about, but I ain't gonna listen to no BS either. No.
Right. Understood. Gotcha. Well, certainly if you could give any type of advice to somebody looking to get into wholesaling from your experiences, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to just do it. Like, all that reading and watching videos is great because you have to kind of know what you're doing, but just do it. If you mess up, so what? Shit happens. You know what? Just try not to, make that mistake repeatedly or learn from other people's mistakes. That's one thing I love about the wholesaling group. People post the highs and the lows of wholesaling. It's not just, oh yeah, I made $25,000 a day, but they didn't tell you what it took to get to that $25,000 or how long it took or what all the problems were that happened. Because I've had issues. That's why I try to post on the page too, like the good and the bad that I've experienced. So to anybody starting, just do it, man. Like whatever. I don't know if it's fear holding people back, fear that they might make it or that you might fail. But just because you fail doesn't mean that you suck or that you're a failure. I mean, you can still make it. Just figure it out and, okay, don't do that again. Let me try something else. So that would be the first thing I would say. The second thing I would say, if you can't find somebody to follow on Instagram or something like you, or, like Chris Bruce or Mike Nelson or what's the other guy, Antonio Edwards, other people I know that's big out here, follow them and see what they're doing. They offer a lot of free information on YouTube as well, and just go on there. I don't know how their Q&A is or anything like that, but I've been on a couple of their Google Hangouts, and if you ask them stuff, they'll answer it if they see it. So, I mean, just do it. That's my philosophy. Just try.
And that's it. That's a really good philosophy. And I'll always tell people, I said, you will come across some failure in this business. You have to have thick skin in this business. I mean, you'll have sellers curse you out. I mean, if I could play some of these voicemails from this last campaign that we've done, as far as a seller telling my assistant that we need to read the Bible because we're taking advantage of them. I mean, you have stuff like that too. And then my assistant's answer was classic, but you have
football to get calls like that, because I go right back. Like,
right? See, and that's what it is. So I mean, you have to have thick skin in this business. You have to persevere in this business, because one deal doesn't work out, okay, jump to that next deal. It's like you always have to be focused in this business and making it happen. And then, of course, remembering your why of why you started this business. So all those are very good key points and very good advice to be able to make that happen. So when it comes to you, when it comes to your business, what are like your future plans, or where do you see, yourself and Denson Construction in the next 5 years?
The next 5 years, I plan to definitely be at millionaire status, because I've been kicking my butt long enough. So it's about damn time. The other thing I see, I just applied to get one of my first of many certifications, because my ultimate goal as a contractor is I want to start bidding on federal work, because being that I'm basically a triple minority, I'm Black, I'm Indian, and I'm, a woman, I get all these more bidding opportunities than compared to just a regular male. So I just applied to get my woman-owned certification. So that's one that takes like 4 to 6 months to get approved. So once I get that, I can start bidding on bigger contracts. And so I definitely see myself in millionaire status in 5 years for sure. Wholesaling, probably the same, because Detroit is on such a huge come up here. It's like now everybody's finally starting to see what I've been talking about for 3-4 years now. And it's like, hopefully it's not too late, because the prices here are already up 40, 50, 60%. And then in the next year or two, it's probably going to be up even more. So I expect to see that side of the business do great as well, because I see what's happening in Detroit. There's so much development, and you got people moving here from all over the world. Like a lot of people from California have been moving here lately, in like Utah and a lot of West Coast places. And the main reason they told me they moved here because it's cheap. Like the same brick style house you can get here for that same $10,000, $20,000 scenario with the same $50 grand in rehab, you're out of $70,000. But in Cali, that house would be like $600,000-$700,000. I'm like, that's
exactly right.
Like, if you give me $700 grand, I could buy the entire east side of Detroit and probably rehab at least 4 blocks. Like,
wow. So many great opportunities there in Detroit, Asia. We definitely appreciate you sharing a lot with that. Where can people find you at online if they want to get more information? You did a lot of stuff, just to mention, we always talk about social media. You did a lot of stuff and found a lot of investors from your YouTube, just doing videos and telling people about the Detroit market. So mention that and kind of where people can find you at online.
Okay, well, as far as my YouTube channel, I started that because nobody was talking about the actual rehab side of Detroit and the real estate. Like when you watch CNN and stuff, they always talk about the bad stuff. Yeah, we got crime. Who don't have crime? But that's normally when something bad happens, that's when you post the bad. At least that's what I always thought. So I started my channel pretty much to show my construction work and to show the real estate side of Detroit. So, excuse me. So I started doing like how you do the Sterling report, the Denson report. So I started reporting on basically what I see happening in the newspaper here. And there's so much stuff that's happening locally that internationally people don't know, because they don't probably know where to find it about as far as Detroit newspapers and stuff. And that's pretty much why I started my channel. So every couple months I do a stupid long video because there's so much going on about what's happening in Detroit. And I try to make it kind of educational, but still being me. So you can find that on my YouTube channel, Denson Construction Services. I'll probably separate and do a real estate one too eventually, the Detroit Property Shop. That's my wholesaling company. But I have Facebook pages, Detroit Property Shop and Distant Construction Services. Instagram is Distant Construct Serve. The same for Pinterest, Google Plus, and I think that's all I got. Oh, Twitter, same. But I can send you all the links, whatever, if you need to post them.
Yeah, definitely send me the links, and especially like, you know, your website and how people can, you know, your contact information and how people can contact you. We'll make sure we do get it in that post once we have the show up. So we will definitely do that. So again, Asia, thank you so much for being on. You've given us some great insight into the Detroit market and, you know, some amazing things that can happen there. I think we need to revisit making some great things happening up there in Detroit as well. I need to get there too and make that happen. Right. So we'll definitely do that. Yeah, I know, right? So, but we definitely got to get that taken care of. I've been traveling everywhere else. I got to make it up there to Detroit and get some good things going on. So we will do that. Is there anything else that you just want to leave people just about you or the business or anything before we wrap up?
Sure. Well, dealing with me as your contractor, you're going to get kind of like A1 service. I'm going to get on your nerves. That's a guarantee. You're going to always hear from me. It's going to be an email, text, a direct message on Instagram. I've gotten a ton of clients from my Instagram. I had one guy fly out to meet me last year. You know, now he's buying from me and I'm doing his rehab. So that's one thing I can say, because most contractors, like I said, they suck with communication, not me. You're going to hear from me all day, every day. The second thing I would say that I'm just me, and I try to tell a lot of people, just be you. Like, I know I curse, and I got to work on that, but I'm a contractor, and I really didn't curse until I got into construction because, like I said, I worked on the highway. I was one girl out of maybe 6 or 7, and we all talk the same now. So, like, it's not on purpose. I'm working on it. I'm work in progress. But I would say, like, you know, hire me. You know, you're going to hear from me. I'm going to do a great job. And even if I do something you don't like or if I mess up, I'm going to fix it. You know, and my whole thing with fixing it is I know you're pissed off, but allow me a chance to fix it. And if I can't fix it, you know, I have no problem telling the truth. Like, hey, I can't do this. This is not my standard. So, you know, you need to find somebody else. I've turned away a lot of work because of that. And then also, I do charge for estimates. I do not do free estimates anymore. I refuse to do free estimates. It is because I got tired of people screwing me over. I got tired of people taking advantage of my time. Like, if you ever get an estimate from me, it's going to be so detailed. It's line item by line item, like pictures attached with, okay, this is what we're going to do here and everything. And you're going to pay for that. So now I charge for estimates. And what else I like to say about myself? I think I'm a pretty cool chick, you know. I'm pretty humble, but I'm silly. So I don't know if that's a good combination, but I'm just me.
That works. That's good. That's good. Well, again, Asia, thank you so much for being on. We'll make sure we post where you can find Asia at online. Look into the Detroit market. There's certainly some great things happening there. Asia, again, thank you so much for being on. Guys, coming up on the Sterling Report, we have Ray Mabry coming up on the Sterling Report. We have Daniel Iaffe coming up on the Sterling Report. We also have Sean Terry of Flip to Freedom coming up as well. So we're going to bring you those great interviews. Some we have coming from Fort Lauderdale coming up, and also Miami, some shows coming up there as well. So you guys stay tuned. Make sure you stay tuned to the Sterling Report, GrantCardoneTV.com/the Sterling Report, and we'll have more of those episodes coming to you soon. As always, take care and 10X.